Hello, everybody. We are the Ghoul Guides. I am Lauren, and this is Mary, and we are back for 2021. So it has been a while because turns out this year is already incredibly chaotic, and we thought, you know what? Let's continue with that chaotic energy. So we are not doing a well-planned or research video for our first video of the year. We are gonna play Kiss, Marry, Kill again because we played this dumb game as part of our Christmas episode, and people really liked my overly thought out explanation of why I would marry the Mothman. He got out of the studio, y'all. So we're going to play Kiss, Marry, Kill again. And this time, Mary has made the selection. So Mary, what are we going for this time? Do we have a theme? Do we have a focus?
Yeah, well, I mean, you say like it's not a well-researched episode, but maybe it is. So this is one that I've been thinking about because we're filming this in February, which for those of you who may not know, is Women in Horror Month. So I thought, what better way to celebrate this than kiss, marry, kill some amazing badass women, I guess. It probably won't air in February, but hey, you know, Women in Horror is not just for February. Women in horror are awesome throughout the year. So yeah, just, you know, let's celebrate.
You should put your women in horror all year round.
Yeah, celebrate women that work in horror, women that write horror, act in horror, and all the amazing like women characters in horror. And just quick recap on Kiss, Marry, Kill. Basically, I'm going to give you, Lauren, 3 options, and you have to decide, you know, like the popular childhood game, which one you would rather kiss, which one you would rather marry, and which one you would rather kill.
Okay.
So with no more ado, let's get started.
Let's do this.
Cool. So round 1.
Okay.
We have some Gothic authors.
Okay.
So your first option, Anne Radcliffe. Gothic authoress by day, vampire hunter by night. Yes, I'm talking about the fan fiction version of Anne Radcliffe as well.
Google Paul for Val.
yes, absolutely. Option 2, Mary Shelley, aka the original goth girl. You know, what more do I need to say? But yeah. And then option 3, Florence Marryat. So, you know, who said Bram Stoker's Dracula is the only vampire to have fun in 1897? You might know her from her novels, such as The Blood of the Vampire, which is about a psychic vampire. But also, you know, in her spare time, she was also a medium. So, yeah. So those are your options.
Okay.
Anne Radcliffe, vampire hunter. Mary Shelley, aka original goth girlfriend. And Florence Marryat, vampire writer and medium.
Okay. Oh, this one's hard. All right, no, I've got it. I would kill Florence Marryat because she's a medium. So when I kill her, she can still communicate with me, and I could like write her book. Like, you know, if she wants to write another book, I could just scribe it for her, or anybody really, like anyone could do it. But I feel like, you know, if I have to kill one of them, I'll kill Marryat because 1, I think, you know, she's most interested in what's on the other side, and 2, she was a medium, so it's a win-win situation kind of.
That's really interesting. I mean, I guess you'd have to find another medium to help you continue to like stay in contact with her.
Yeah, and maybe like we could do what Houdini and his wife did and have like a secret code or something, or like a phrase, so I know it's definitely her. But yeah, that would be cool. Like, that would be pretty cool.
Okay.
So that's how on this occasion I will get around the killing bit. Okay, kiss or marry. I think that I would kiss Mary Shelley because, you know, she is literally a romantic with a small and a big R. And I think that she would just be really good to date. Like, but I don't want to tie her down, you know? Like, she's got her whole thing. She gets really into grief at one point as well, and like you know, that's intense. It would be difficult to date someone who has their husband's calcified heart in a bag.
How do you move on? How do you move on when you have the literal heart of your ex?
Yeah. So I kind of feel like, you know, she had her great love.
Oh no, that's so tragic.
Which is very sad, but yeah, super tragic. But like you said, she's the OG goth girlfriend. So I think I would kiss Mary Shelley, and I would marry Anne Radcliffe, because, as we all know, Anne Radcliffe is my goth true love. Also, do you know how many novels she sold? She sold so many novels. So many novels, and she was super well connected. Like, her husband ran a paper, like she was related to like Wedgwood. She like lived in Bath, but like she's not super famous. Like, I think if you date Mary Shelley, you know, you're gonna be like in the gossip pages. Whereas Radcliffe, she's kind of mysterious. She doesn't want to be in the public eye. She likes to travel. You know, we can talk about, I could maybe convince her that Valancourt is a piece of shit. Yeah, I think I would marry Radcliffe, because I love her. She's super rich.
Which is, as you know, if you've watched part 1 and part 2 of our Kiss, Marry, Kill series, we are very, very keen on marrying people that have a lot of wealth.
Look, okay, I am a poor early career researcher, and I need someone to look after me while I continue my research. And it would be a nice, like, symbiotic relationship. Anne would write the books, and I would critically analyze them, and we would be like a power team. It'd be great. So yeah, kill Marriott, kiss Shelley, marry Radcliffe. What about you?
Interesting. Okay. Well, I think I would also probably kill Florence Marriott.
Poor Marriott.
Partly because, you know, ghost possession, mediumship, I feel like that's quite intense, and that would be a lot to deal with. But also, I quite like your idea that she could haunt us.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's not really a proper death. So I think, you know, I don't really want like the ghosts around all the time. But it would be nice to still know that we can stay in touch.
Yeah.
So for that, I think I would kiss Anne Radcliffe, and maybe go on like a couple of like vampire hunting adventures.
Yeah.
I think that would be fun. But I think she's quite, I mean, I guess I am also quite reclusive, but I feel like I don't know, like that would be two reclusive people.
You would be quite a hermit couple.
We would be a massive hermit couple. Yeah.
I don't know if you'd bring out the best in each other.
Yeah. Whereas I feel like marrying Mary Shelley, I mean, like original goth girlfriend, she's going to be amazing and awesome, like, and do like lots of fun things. But also, like, I really like that symbiotic relationship that she has with work, and how like dedicated she is. And, you know, I quite like that. You know, we could read each other's drafts, like edit stuff, have that kind of, you know, she'd support my work and push me to do stuff, and like be my number one champion, as I would be hers, obviously, because she's awesome.
You'd be Mary and Mary.
Yeah, well, oh god, yeah, that's actually that's awkward.
I take it back.
I would obviously go by my nickname Maz, because that would just get too confusing. I'm always confused when people talk about Mary and they mean Mary Shelley. I'm like confused.
Yeah, and no, like, please get to point 3, but also her mum is Mary, so
I know it's confusing. Yeah. Maybe we'll come up with a nice nickname for her.
Yeah.
But also, you know, you say that like PB Shelley was her like one true love, or like her great love, and that's just really sad. Like, I feel like she needs another.
And she's really young.
Yeah. She needs another great love in her life, and I would like to be that love.
I think that you could do it.
Yeah. Thanks,
I think that you could totally be that person. And I think that would be really beautiful.
Yeah.
I'll cry at your wedding.
Well, who says we'd get? Oh, I guess it is Kiss, Marry, Kill. Yeah, so
It's
we
Kiss-
would get married. Sorry.
You were like, I'm not inviting you.
Oh no. I was like,
God, I thought I'd be like the one witness.
I forgot what game we were playing, and I just thought we were going to have like a really nice long-term relationship.
Civil partnership.
Civil partnership. Yeah.
Okay.
I would have a civil partnership.
Cool.
With Mary Shelley.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's round 1. You ready for round 2?
Yes.
Okay. So round 2, we have some badass women in horror.
Hey.
Okay, so you may or may not be familiar with all of these, but I'm just going to describe them, just in case you don't know.
Do you need to preface that with, for those that have not seen this before, that I am a massive scaredy cat, and I can read horror, but I really can't watch it.
Yeah. So I don't know if you know these films. I think you'll be aware of them all.
Okay.
And I've chosen them specifically because I think these characters are really interesting
Awesome.
and really badass women. But yeah, I just want to get that out there, Lauren, and anyone else who is not into horror. You may not necessarily be aware of all of the characters, and that's fine. I will give a brief description of them. Although we're starting off with one who I hope you will be familiar with.
Okay.
And that is Sarah Connor from the Terminator franchise.
I have seen the Terminator films, and I do really like them.
Yeah. So
yes, I know Sarah Connor.
For those of you who don't know, it consists of a 2-film franchise. Franchise. There was only 2 films ever made of this franchise from the 80s. And it's kind of, it's about robots and stuff and time travel and a chosen one. But let's forget about all of that, because we want to talk about Sarah Connor, who is, the person with the magic vagina, but also is badass and like can totally like stand up to all of like these robot.
The Terminator series ends where Sarah Connor saves the world from Skynet and her son and nothing else.
Yeah.
It ends there. She's the hero, no more.
Yeah. Sarah Connor is amazing. And especially in Terminator 2 Judgment Day, like you say, she saves the day. She saves everyone. She saves her son. And she kills the bad robots. And it's just amazing. Yeah. Okay, so number 1, Sarah Connor. Number 2, we have Girl from A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night. So this is a 2014 Iranian vampire film by Anna Lily Amirpour, and it is beautiful, and it's gorgeously filmed, and the title character doesn't have a name. She's just called Girl, but basically so she wears kind of outside a kind of chador, so a kind of Muslim dress outside, and then she also has a kind of underground kind of flat where she dresses more modern and listens to like pop music and dances and stuff, and she's just very cool. She also skateboards, which I think is great.
I was just gonna say,
and there is a really great scene. So she avenges a lot of people in the film. She doesn't talk a lot, but her actions say like so much. And she avenges a lot of the women characters. And there's one specific scene with a pimp, and he takes her into his house, and it's getting very suggestive, and you're thinking, what is going on here? And he basically gives her his finger in a very suggestive way. She starts to suck it in a very suggestive way and then bites it off in a very suggestive way. And that, I feel like just that scene just like sums her up as like just, she's powerful, she's awesome, but like for specific purposes. And also like a skateboarding vampire, what more do you want?
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So we've got Sarah Connor, Girl. Who's on number 3?
So number 3, I've cheated a little bit. So there's potentially 2.
Okay.
Because this is a film about doubles.
Okay.
So we have Adelaide / Red from Jordan Peele's Us.
Oh, okay.
So quick synopsis of this film, slight spoilers, because I guess you can't really talk about these characters without spoilers. But it's about imagining like America with a network of underground tunnels. And in these underground tunnels are the tethered, and they're basically like doubles of you. And they so you have like an above ground self and then a tethered double underneath. And Adelaide is played by Lupita Nyong'o, who is just fabulous.
Yeah.
And she goes with her family. Her husband is played by Winston Duke, who is also just amazing. Just throwing that out there. They go to this cabin for like a holiday, and it's where it's like by the beach and stuff, and it's where she had been as a child. And basically, there's this incident that happened as a child with her, where she went into this kind of fairground, kind of, you know, maze, like mirror thing.
Yeah, it's like
sees herself.
It's like a hall of mirrors, isn't
Yeah, like a exactly. A hall of, that is the words I couldn't remember. She goes into a hall of mirrors and sees like a child double of herself. And then after that kind of time, she it's like a traumatic experience. She doesn't speak for a while, and then you know, therapy and all this kind of stuff helps. And now she's an adult and she's back in this kind of town. But now the tethered are back. The tethered are here, and everyone has doubles, and her whole family has doubles. And the tethered basically go around being very violent, killing their doubled selves, all of this kind of stuff. Adelaide meets her double again, and you know, you're like, oh, this is the double that you met when you were a child and you had that really traumatic experience. Lots of violence, lots of horror. The family managed to get out in the car and they go back, but the whole thing is that actually, like, with Adelaide and Red, when did they switch? Did they actually switch when they were children? And maybe the tethered double has been the one who's been in the world all along. And the above ground self has been the one that maybe like organized this whole kind of rise up of the tethered above ground. And then in the car, which one is it? Is it Adelaide or is it Red? Is it the vengeful above ground tethered self, or is it the tethered self who had grown up with all the children? And that is my third one, because I think it's super interesting. And I think as a kind of person, who were you getting? Is it Adelaide, Red, both of them? Like, who knows? I just thought it would be interesting for that. So
yeah, and also I like that you've picked horror films. So us is very violent, and I did struggle with it on that respect. But like, as you know, I like more sort of like thrillery, like psychological stuff, because I really struggle with like jump scares because I am a massive baby. So I like that you've picked things that I can actually comment
on. So I hope that does kind of give you a brief summation of the characters. Like I said, the films aren't necessarily important, as opposed to the fact that these are 3/4 badass women. But yeah, just to sum up, so we have Sarah Connor, who saves the world from robots. Then we have Girl, who is a skateboarding vampire. And then we have Adelaide/Red, who I don't really know how to sum her up. Them up, but
and then like the film is purposely ambiguous.
Bit of a mystery, I guess.
Okay, I would kill Adelaide/Red.
Ooh, okay.
Genuinely terrifying. Such a good like, such a good concept, such a good character. But I would never know which one was the real one. Also, is there such a thing as the real one? Because it's so arbitrary, but also I feel like they would kill me first. And I would probably deserve it. But there's a lot of drama there, a lot of vengefulness. There's like a whole agenda going on, which, you know, on a grander scheme I support, but if we're talking about like making a life together, I don't think I could handle it. I'm very small and poor.
Yeah.
So yeah. Also, you know, like, she's got kids. She's already married to Winston Duke in both versions, and well, I'm not gonna get in the way of that. I mean, I am suggesting I would kill her, which I guess. but here's the thing: I'll kill her, and then I'll date Girl, because basically the teenage dream, skateboarding vampire, that is what every emo teenager wanted. A badass skateboarding vampire who has a sick flat underground and great taste in music, and is also like righting the world's wrongs, and is just like this, you know, avenger, who is just incredible. And also, I always really, the thing that I really love about that film is it really subverts the like silent avenger male hypermasculine trope. So like it really inverts something like Drive, where the male character doesn't really speak very much, but there's all of this violence and you're supposed to have some kind of sympathy, but you're not really sure. And really it's engaging in a real voyeuristic kind of quite gratuitous violence. And the violence in Girl Walks Home is not gratuitous, I don't think. And I think it like is part of a narrative where you have things like the novel Power, where it's more about like, you know, female violence in a patriarchal world. Like, can we achieve equality without violence, and how does that frame the violence, and what does that say about violence, and are we, you know, is that violence permissible or not? And there's a whole really interesting connection and conversation to be had there. But I think, yeah, I just love the fact that she inverts so many tropes, and yeah, like teenage dream, but also she is a vampire and I am mortal, so I'm gonna get like older. And she's not, and then it might be weird, but also, you know, she's got to do her thing and I don't want to get in the way of that. So I would marry Sarah Connor, and together we would raise John Connor and beat Sina, and then when the tethered come for me, she will protect me.
Yeah.
Like, when I must face the consequences of my action for killing Adelaide/Red and taking a mother from her children and a wife from a husband, Sarah Connor will protect me.
Which I mean, again, apologies to everyone if I have spoiled the film, but if you have seen the film, you know at the end, like Jordan Peele leaves it very open-ended, as to, you know, what are the Tethered gonna do now?
Yeah.
And like what I forget what their names are. The Wilson family, like they drive out, but obviously both Adelaide and Red are still alive. And like, yeah, like they could totally come back
And
for
that,
you.
like, you know, at the end of the film that there's some plan, and that it wasn't just like about vengeance or violence, but there's something else, and it's kind of like, well, you don't need to know that because it's going to affect you. It's not it's not about you, it's going to affect you, which is such an effective, powerful, like, horror move. But yeah, Sarah Connor, I'll marry Sarah Connor. She will protect me. Also, like, you know, they got a cool Terminator robot on their side now. Like, her kid is really cute. You know, they need someone to cook for them.
Great. I think that's, yeah, great choices.
I could do that. So I think that would be my, again, purely selfish, materialistic.
Well, I mean, it's a lifelong
It's
commitment, right?
good.
You have to think about it and think about these things seriously.
Well, you can't judge this on like looks. Like, it's not like Mothman versus Bigfoot. Which even then I was like, we didn't really judge on looks. Apart from the fact that we were like, Mothman statues got abs and a really great butt. But like, you can't judge these things on looks, because that we are mere mortals, and like the actresses in all of those films are like so far above her. So if we're gonna do it on that, then I'd probably kill myself and let them live happily ever after.
No.
But you can't make that decision. So you gotta scenario this in the horror movie that happens when I kill the characters from Us. I would want to be married to Sarah Connor for my own protection. But also because she's Sarah Connor.
Yeah, she's amazing.
And she's super cool. Okay, yeah, that's my that's my kiss, marry, kill. What about you?
Okay. I think not that I'm copying you, but like I think I would also kill Adelaide/Red, just because I think whether I would get confused as to who I would be like in a relationship with.
Yeah.
And also like maybe I'd be in a relationship with both of them, and I don't think I want that. Yeah. I think two people is enough for me in one relationship. And also, like quite unpredictable in a violent kind of way. And
Yeah.
I don't think I want that. So unfortunately, yeah. Also, exactly like what you said about the fact that they're already married to Winston Duke, both of them. So yeah. I feel like that's perfect for them. Yeah. And I don't want to get in between that. So that would be who I would kill, and then I think I would kiss Sarah Connor because she is badass and amazing, and I think she would be great. But also, she does have a kid.
I was just gonna say.
I don't know about that.
This is where we differ. I'm like, I could help look after this kid, and you're like, no,
thank you. Yeah, no thanks. So I think like having like a kind of cool fun weekend, maybe like exactly like what Sarah Connor and John Connor's dad did. I don't even know his name, but fun weekend.
He gets killed in the first film. Spoiler.
No, I know that.
That would mean you're like, yeah, I'd have a cool weekend, and then Arnold Schwarzenegger would kill me.
Well, no, but without that, because by this time, like, Arnold Schwarzenegger is a good robot, so Arnold Schwarzenegger wouldn't kill me. I would just have a fun weekend with Sarah Connor, and then we would go off on a merry way, and I would ride off on my wife's skateboard because I would be married to a vampire, just because I think that would be cool. And there's no chance of children, which is great. Also, she's super into cats, which I love.
Yeah, that is true.
And I just think great music, quite like the chilled out life, and also maybe every now and then we'd go off on a kind of vengeance spree.
To be honest, I can see that for you. Like, as a friend, I'd be like, you live your best life.
Yeah, with cats and murder.
Yeah, with your murderous skateboarding vampire wife. I approve.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you.
Yeah, I think to be honest, it's a really beautiful match.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, are you ready for the final round?
Am I ever? No, but let's do it anyway.
Okay. I really hope you'll like this. I put a lot of thought into choosing these three ones, and it really did there were so many different ones that I could choose, and it was really hard to just pick three. So yeah, this round is called the monstrous feminine. So we're going into some monsters. So up first we have the Grudge, also known as Kyoko Sayaki's vengeful ghost. So yeah, from obviously like Ju-on, or the American name The Grudge, and just as a kind of representation of like the many terrifying and vengeful like female spirits that are found in J-horror. But I think this one is representative. Kyoko Sayaki's. And then number 2 we have Bride of Frankenstein.
Okay.
So, and I feel like she doesn't really need any introduction. Everyone knows, female counterpart to Victor Frankenstein's original creature, made of an assortment of dead body parts. Just amazing in that kind of way. And then finally we have the alien from the Alien franchise.
I feel like you've picked this on purpose because of the eel thing.
Oh my god, I didn't even think of that.
Okay. All right,
I was just trying to like find like some really interesting variety of female like monsters, and like ones that didn't make the cut. You know, obviously I was thinking about like the Woman in Black, La Llorona. I mean, there's just so many. But I thought these were all very different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Cool. All right. Okay.
So yeah. So to sum up, we have the Grudge, Bride of Frankenstein, or the Alien from Alien.
Okay. So, did you know that Moray eels have a little second mouth that comes out like the alien from Alien? And Alien scares the crap out of me. Okay, fun story as well. You know, the Nemesis ride at Alton Towers?
Yeah.
You of the internet may be aware of this. So the Nemesis ride at Alton Towers is like a themed ride, and it's basically a rip-off of Alien. It's supposed to be like these scientists and they find this alien and like blah blah blah, and like the theme of the roller coaster is basically a plagiarism of the film franchise Alien. About 10 years ago, maybe not quite so much, they made like an alien, like a Nemesis experience, which is like a 3D sort of like haunted house type thing, like an experience ride. We accidentally queued up for the wrong thing and didn't queue up for Nemesis. We queued up for the Nemesis experience and we didn't know, and we thought that it was like, you know, when you're queuing up for a ride and sometimes they have like an introduction thing to keep you entertained when you're in the queue. We thought that's what this was. It's not. It's like this thing where you go in and they're like, oh, here's the alien egg, and like the scientists have found it, and you all sit round. And then like the lights go out, it drops you, like they like shoot cold water and air at you, all the lights start going off, they're like, it's gotten out. You get ushered out this room and there's this guy in hazmats and gas masks. But because it's not actually, I don't think it's probably actually that scary. But because we thought we were queuing for a roller coaster and we had absolutely no idea what was going on, I screamed like I have never screamed before. Like all four of us, grown adult humans, clinging to each other like in absolute horror because we were like, what is going on? And for that reason and that reason alone, I would have to kill the alien, because I think every time I looked at her, I'd just be reminded of that trauma, even if she has the cool Moray eel mouth thing.
I was gonna say, you brought up all the eel stuff. I thought this was gonna be like a match made in space.
Well, I know, Mary, and this
think of all the potential, you know.
Why I had to give this long-winded explanation of my trauma, because I was so scared, and then afterwards felt so stupid because we got out and everyone else was like, that was okay, and we were like, like
oh my gosh,
crying. We were like, where's the roller coaster? And then when I went on the roller coaster, which was also pretty scary, I was like, well, I've already basically like been scared to tears by this thing, so I'm afraid I would have to kill the alien. Also, I don't really like the way in which she reproduces.
Yeah, that is a little bit of a kind of deal breaker, I guess. Yeah. Okay. So we've killed the alien. Who are you gonna marry? Who are you gonna kiss?
I would kiss Kayako, from The Grudge, because she's like interdimensional and can like travel through things. And like,
this is true.
You know, and things like The Grudge and The Ring, like they all like super scare me. I can about handle like Junji Ito manga, But like actually I find stuff like this quite horrifying. But actually, like, I think, you know, she's like a housewife whose husband is basically just a massive douchebag. And like that's her whole story, more or less. And I just think, you know, she deserves like just a fun time casually dating.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I think
Get out of the house a bit.
yeah. And I think that would be cool. We could do some fun things together, maybe not go to a theme park.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think
Maybe
like,
avoid
that would be
everywhere
really
with
cool.
water.
Yeah. Like, but then as well, I would be a bit like, every time I got in the shower, I'd be like, don't do it. So I don't think that would make for a very peaceful life. But I do feel like it deserves like a nice dating experience. I have blocked most of The Grudge out from my mind. Because there's the scene in that it's the American version. Is it Sarah Michelle Gellar where she's like on the back of her head when she's in the shower? That
I
freaked
can't
me
remember
out.
if that's in the original or not.
I can't remember. I have seen both.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I watched most of the original like this.
The original is just so much scarier.
So scary.
Yeah.
It's so scary, like genuinely really scary. But The Ring is the same, like, and it does, as someone who is a gothicist and a fan of the Gothic but not very good with horror, I find particularly J horror, but a lot of like Asian horror cinema to be a real challenge for me because it's so good and I really want to watch it and I really love the way it builds suspense, but then I get so scared that I can't finish it. So again, I just don't think I would be able to last in a long-term relationship with her.
Which is fair. I think that's good. You know, like short little dates.
Yeah.
But not like a long-term commitment.
Long-term thing.
Yeah.
And I would marry the Bride of Frankenstein because she makes me really sad. And I think we could get on. And also, screw Victor Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Screw him. Like, I would be like, okay, I'm really sorry, creature, but this is your beef with him. We're gonna leave. And we're gonna, like, I'm gonna build a feminist paradise in Valperga where I sack off all of Mary Shelley's shitty mail. And I think Mary Shelley would approve of this. And I can ask her, because you'll be married to her and you'll come round for tea. And we'll live in Castle Valperga, which is Shelley's like utopia castle in one of her novels. And we'll be really happy together. But yeah, she one, I am the least terrified of the Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not like terrified to the core. And yeah, she doesn't have a cool eel mouth. And she can't like travel through water. But you know, she doesn't get to have a lot of agency. I mean, a lot of women in horror is about like women being denied their agency, and that's why it's like so powerful in horror. But yeah, me and the Bride of Frankenstein, I think we could really get on. She could actually choose herself a name. And yeah, the further away anyone can get from Victor Frankenstein, the better. So that would be my pick.
Great. I think those are hilarious. I think mine would be pretty much the same, maybe slightly different reasons.
I mean, yours is probably not because you had a traumatic experience.
I did not have a traumatic alien experience. I think I would kill the monster from Alien because I feel like her whole like raison d'etre is about like procreation and making children. And again, like I'm not really about that life.
Yeah.
And like also like you say, like the method of procreation, there'd always be that thing like in the back of your head, like, are you gonna try and use me as a like.
Oh my god, my microphone. I started doing the alien thing, and but that's what would happen.
Yeah.
It would just disrupt everything.
Yeah, I don't think I want a partner that is that obsessed with children.
No.
And that obsessed with their identity as a mother.
Yeah.
Like obviously there's nothing wrong with that. It's just not for me.
You've got to be on the same wavelength.
Yeah, and I also think that I don't really want a partner that may or may not want to kill me in order to have children.
Yeah.
Like I think that is just a step too far for me personally. So I would kill the alien. And I think I would kiss the grudge, because like you say, like really misunderstood, and like, you know, her whole like vengeful like vendetta is for a reason. You know, her husband was an asshole, and like I feel like she should have some fun, but also at the same time, like she's a mother and she's a housewife, and I don't know, like she has kids, she has a very creepy kid, like, and again, like I don't really want to have to deal with that, like on like a you know, he's also a spirit, you know, and I feel like that would be a kind of
they also have a cat.
They do have a cat. But that doesn't, you know, there's still that child. And oh god, I'm sounding really anti-child here. Like
to be honest though, we are talking about horror. And like the same with like if you had picked La Llorona or The Woman in Black, I would have been like
yeah,
some complex issues around children.
Yeah. So I think
taking other people's children that I don't know if I'm okay with.
Yeah, I think it would be great. Like I would date the grudge, and then have some fun. Maybe we could have a day out at a salon, do our hair, you know, hair and nails, fun little outing. But then I would marry the Bride of Frankenstein, because yes, she needs to get the hell away from Victor Frankenstein. She needs some fun. She should experience some joy. She should not just exist for the pleasure of men. And I think that, you know, we could go away and have a nice, lovely life together.
Also, like, you know, well, I was about to like spoilers for Frankenstein, the novel published in 1818. Like, you know, we're talking about horror, and like, yeah, I still have like, you know, Karko is still a sympathetic figure, as is kind of the alien queen, like, you know, depending on how you read it.
Yeah. For me, the reason why I'm not marrying either of those is nothing to do with their monstrosity. It's purely because of they have and they want children. You know.
Also, they might kill me.
Oh yeah, that too.
Whereas with the Bride of Frankenstein, we know from Frankenstein's creature, that like treated with basic human decency, they wouldn't be a killer. So, you know, some people are beyond helping. And I am past this, you know, I'm past that whole I can help you part of my life. Like, no thank you. I mean, I will here, but like I'm not here to like help a killer. Like, I'm not here for the redemption arc. Like,
you know, you do your redemption arc in your own time.
Yeah, like, and leave my physical well-being out of it. Also, I really love baths. I just think me and the grudge aren't gonna work out, because I'm just gonna be like chilling in the bath and she'll be like, hey, and I'll be like, this is my private time.
yeah, like boundaries. Such a good point. Actually, like boundaries and consent when it comes to private spaces, but also like your physical body. I feel like both the grudge and the alien don't have that kind of respect. You know, like I don't want to be impregnated with an alien child that I did not ask for or want. And I also don't want to
burst from me.
Yeah, I also don't want to be, you know, like doing my hair and then like there's some like maybe in some films that's a romantic moment, but like for me, like physical space, respecting boundaries, And yeah, like bodily touching and consent and respecting privacy are very important. And I feel like The Grudge just stomps all over those.
True. It's true. And I mean, I get it.
Mm.
Also, I would never get used to it. Like every time it happened, I'd be like, and also,
this is the point. This is the point about
friends and family. Like we're supposed to be on a picnic.
But this is the point about like bodily consent, is that like if you don't consent to something or something makes you uncomfortable, you shouldn't have to get used to it. Like, you know,
exactly.
People should respect your boundaries.
And that's why we're marrying the Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah, so someone who has been reanimated, brought to life from a consortment of dead body parts.
Yep. But somehow objectively the least terrifying.
Yeah. And on that note, that brings us to the end of this round of Kiss, Marry, Kill.
Well, this has been, I'm sure, another quality Ghoul Guide production. Full of sense, reason, rationale.
What do you think about our choices? Would you make the same, or would your decisions be different in any of our 3 rounds? Please let us know in the comments below.
Have you also accidentally experienced incredible trauma at the theme park Alton Towers?
Can I just say that I also experienced a little bit, I wouldn't really go so far as to say trauma, but like when I went to, I think it was Alton Towers. What's the one with the Saw ride? Maybe it's not Alton Towers.
That's Alton Towers, I think, with Smiler and stuff. Oh wait, is that? I don't know. I'm not a big person.
There was a Saw ride, and it was apparently very terrifying, the actual ride itself, and I'm sure it was. We were queuing. Obviously, you queue for a long time. Sometimes you queue for like an hour. We were in the queue. We were kind of so we'd got past the outside snake bit, and then you go inside, and then you have to queue upstairs. So we're just at the bottom of some stairs, and then like you kind of go up, and then you get on the ride, whatever. And there was this figure off to the side, and kept looking at this figure, and I was like, oh, like that looks really lifelike. What the hell? And I was like talking to my friends about how, you know, this cool, like spooky, like Saw-like figure, and then it moved and jumped at me because obviously it was a person. I was like, oh my gosh, this is more embarrassing than terrifying.
Well, exactly. This is also me on the freaking Nemesis thing. Because we got out and there was like 8-year-old children who were like, that wasn't that scary. We were like, ah!
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, like the Saw, I'm sure the Saw experience and the Saw ride was terrifying. I'm just not easily scared like that. But I think it was more just that I was just embarrassed that I had been talking about this person because I thought they weren't real, and they were.
Oh god, don't watch this episode on your headphones, folks, because I'm sure we've made some absolutely awful high-pitched sounds in mimicking ourselves screaming.
Oh gosh.
Mostly me.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this has been our glorious and triumphant return to the internet for 2021. We will be coming back with some more serious content, and don't forget you can currently catch us on Sundays with Frankenstein over on the Rosenbach's YouTube channel, and in the meantime, stay safe and stay spooky.
Stay safe and stay spooky.